You. All right, let me see. Where is my stuff? Let me make sure. Yes, we are there. Good. Cancel. Let me make sure. I think I put it up. That would be kind of whack if I forgot. Give me one moment, y'all. Just getting my stuff set up and giving some people time if they want to chill out with a brother. Digitizing. Copy link address. Where is the Discord? Over here. Boom. Bayow. Toma. What's up, everyone? Welcome to ToxicHustle. Welcome to CryptoPlunder, ToxicThoughts. You get to hear how I feel about the crazy crap I see as I try to get through some work. I have not been looking at the markets. As I told y'all, I don't invest, but at a specific time. The announcement just went out. Awesome. There we go. Bang, bang. Like I said, let me give everybody a second. All right. So let me bring the Discord screen. Well, before I get into Discord, let's talk about some of the things that's been going on. First off, I hope everyone's all right. I hope you're mentally all right. I hope your spirits are good. I hope this energy reaches you with love and grace, right? Because, as you know, we're living in the weirdo zone right now. And I know there's a lot of fear and a lot of hopium in certain things that we believe still maintaining itself, and even in these new structures of fiat that are being created like crypto, right? And I am not one to sit there and not give y'all reserve on, hey, you know, I've said it in 2017. Go back into my videos, at the last of my videos back here, in 2017, right here, 3 years ago, I was in crypto heavy. I was doing videos, just like I'm doing now. I was talking about robots. If you notice, this time around, I'm talking more about back-end stuff. I'm talking more about data, creating companies, the digitization, the structures of blockchain, right? And then you've noticed that I've been looking at gaming, getting into gaming. What is the play to earn scenario that looks like? And it's still in its infancy. So there's all these, the DeFi thing, like right, Aave, having a decentralized finance, like having a little bit of an idea. And I've been studying. Everything that you've been seeing is me studying this market. Then over time, I take a step back and I start thinking about things as a developer, right? Because we got to have practicality. We have to have practicality in life. We have to have practicality in our relationships. We have to have practicality in how we see even investments in our businesses in our future, right? It has to be practical. So that's the reason why you're starting to notice me talking about machinery. And the reason why I'm into a machinery zone is because it's how I started even getting into how I've gotten my jobs. It's how I've gotten into what I'm doing. Now, people don't know this about me, and I think it was Danye, don't know that I was in the military. And I talk about it in my videos, sporadically. And there's a lot to go through when I do a video. I understand it's a big download. And it shakes people because I'm talking at sometimes over, and I'm mad. for the most part, because I'm looking at a scenario in which I want to be proven wrong about a scenario that's coming down the pipe, right? So in the Discord, Donnie had said that that he was surprised he didn't know I was in the military, right? So when I was in the military, I learned a lot. A Japanese woman touched my face and said my skin was kawaii, or beautiful, right? And that my skin was the first skin. And I didn't have any concept of like knowledge of self or none of that. I was just a young young black kid who was in an abusive situation at home and would rather be in the military and potentially catching a bullet than keep dealing with the mental stress of living in an abusive household, right? So then when you get out, you have a choice. You can either fall victim to the abuse you've dealt with, or you can rise above that shit, right? So I just decided, you know what? You can't just forget what happens to, whatever has happened to you, as far as you being like me. My dad was drunk and he loved to pound on something, right? Punch somebody down. So that was what I had to deal with, and I was the punching bag. After a while, it toughens you up to the point you just don't care no more. But I didn't harden my thoughts. I didn't harden my spirit. But that also lends itself to a goal. And that is, we as people, there was a doctor that said something on one of those talk shows, I think it was Oprah or something like that we as a people, as black people, are the only people that still live with the people that enslaved them. But where were we supposed to go when you find out the knowledge and you find out that you were already here? You got to deal with that. As far as if you're looking at the Ottoman Empire paradigm, the fall of Granada paradigm, when you're looking at and you're seeing that there are a set of people that existed here that look like the people that still exist here, cornrows and all. And if you go into the pyramids, you see cornrows and dookie braids. Come on. And we trying to be cute on these streets. And then, but it also has to lend itself to, even if you know that you're more than who they've told you are, what does that matter to your pockets? How does your family eat on that, especially when it's getting tougher and tougher on these streets to eat? It was always tough on these streets to eat. The difference was the ease of how you eased through this crap was whether or not you touched hardware or not. Pause. Whether or not you were in a hardware business. How do I know? Because in the late 90s, early 2000s, as things got hard for folks in warehouses and these big manufacturing plants were starting to close down because robots and the jobs were getting outsourced to other countries. We were outsourcing. That's why everything became made in China. But now they're like, oh, we gave it all away. Yeah, you did. All of your power you gave away. But that has nothing to do with us. We still here. And we still struggling through their failing system. But we've got new ones, right? Not really. As MG points out, it's still fiat. You still got to take your money out of a bank account to pay bills. You still have to have you still have an account where you have to do some type of KYC, know your client, right? The banking laws. And as long as there's a cash out or a way out, you're basically that's your bank now. So we've now got a new banking system, right? So what I've been seeing is a few things, right? I saw the fact that a data company, is not only buying crypto, is buying gold. Now, again, we talked about it last week, and MG brought it up, and a reminder of the tungsten or the cap. Basically, we got, gold was capped out as far as they had fake gold. There was some cap in their wrap. So the gold that they've been looking at over years, if you look at the old news, there's fake gold in them vaults. But of course, the market ain't really, nobody's talking about that. Oh, we found new gold. Let's stick that in the market. Try to flood out and wash out this bad gold. Then I keep saying it, I'm saying that kids don't care about our conspiracy theories. Kids just see opportunities and jump on them. Like, hey, they're 14. This is by Esco. I had seen this article, and they were talking about this 14 and 19-year-old that are making money mining Ethereum. And now they're in data centers. They started in their garage, right? And I put up this post about the database that I want to use for my application while I wait on blockchain. Like, look, blockchain tech is about databases. So like when you're dealing with blockchain, when you're dealing with Bitcoin, if you start learning things like MongoDB, you begin to understand what you're dealing with. Just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. So these kids don't care about how we feel about our jadedness of the system. They're like, oh, my friends down the street is making money down the street with this crypto thing. My parents are like, hey, I got a couple extra computers. Let's try it out. Okay, so understand that hardware is important. Now, network effect, right? Network. What is being built on top of the hardware? Now, I was explaining to a young brother, and I love talking to cats on the street, like talking to real people, like being able to dig down and people ask me questions. Like, hey, what's this? What's that? I need to be able to do something like that. I don't really do the whole audio room stuff yet. So we'll see whether or not we'll do that. But this way we can just do answering questions, right? And just have like straight up talks. Because this is not about cryptocurrencies, right? Crypto is one side of what everybody in the finance and the investment community is going to do. That when you're an investor, that's great. But then when you look at people like Elon Musk, when you look at people like Mark Cuban, when you look at those individuals, they're looking at it, yes, as an investor, but because they can code, because they can write a line of code, they can see the infrastructure play. Wait a minute, you mean to tell me we can have this chain of computers that's doing this stuff that we can now have processing and we can pay people to do transactions for us? Robot transactions, artificial intelligence calculations, navigation system analysis or realignments. All of that stuff's going to be in the cloud in real time. It's not going to be on a central machine, y'all. So when you start looking at this blockchain tech, just take the word database and sub it in for blockchain. Because blockchain is nothing more than a ledger, i.e. database. We just get cute with the names, but we're just saying we want to pay IT professionals to hold and keep a database online. And this is how much this database is worth. Right now, Bitcoin's stupid database, which all it does is calculate mathematical equations. That's why I call it dumb. Its dumb database is smart that it does mathematical calculations. But for a machine to just do that over and over and over again is pretty dumb when it could be doing other things that could give it even more worth or some value. right? If I'm automating things like automation in the cloud, automating desktops, automating machinery to do processes like get data from a web page, scrape it, put it into a database. When that database gets updated, update this dashboard. We're going into a dashboard society, y'all. Right? And then I showed the business of the post that Esco put up, that article about the 14-year-old kid. I put a post up and I said right here, it said their business, which they named Filfer Technologies, was initially housed in their garage, but as it has grown, they moved most of their rigs to an air-conditioned data center in downtown Dallas. So some little kids are paying rent, subscription type beats. And I say it clearly. And expanding into data centers. See a business model we already know and can adjust to. What is it? What is blockchain? Servers, machines with code. Codes, code. This whole conversation is about code. Machines running code. What does the machine do to earn money since it's running code? Some people have a web server that's code. And they put their web page up, like Google has code, but then they got search engine robots that spider the web and grab the web to be able to put it in a database so that you can do a search result, query the database and get a result. What do? You go to Facebook to store data like your images, upload to a database. Then you can query the database and look in the past to see your past or your friends' past through their images that they've uploaded to this global social database. That's all this is, y'all. They call it a network, but it's really a database. Now, how does that database, Facebook, get paid? To pay all the employees that write the code for it, since it's not open source and they're not getting code from a community outside of itself. They use your data and pay advertising. That's all the ads, right? They get paid through advertising, So they charge us as businesses to try to get ads in front of you. Now, as a business, right now, one of the things I've got to do is because I had this really redunculous, dumb robot running my social media campaigns, and I didn't even realize that it had crashed out because, again, I didn't write the code. It's made by people who just want to flood a social market just as a robot. I wanted to use it as a legitimate vehicle of marketing my businesses and my company and my business, my clients' businesses, right? So I need a database to store my data. That's why I'm using Mongo. So that I can collect the stuff that I need, the assets I need to market for my clients in a repository that I control and that my robots can now get access to in a more human-looking fashion and done through APIs. And then this way I can look like I'm naturally growing, but at the same time, I don't have to be on the social network to be on the social network. Get it? How can I syndicate my content? Syndication, media company. That's what I'm building, a media company. So I can syndicate my data across multiple platforms and be able to do that for my clients. That's how ToxicHustle is going to get paid. Then what we're looking at is hardware. So how do we build up machines that can run things? And Esco was like, he was like, how do you get into this mining thing? And I was like, for me, the reason why I'm not in Bitcoin mining right now is hardware costs. We're in the top of a cycle. So I want the cycle to crash, which it will in December, which we'll talk about in a minute. When the cycle crashes, then we'll get into what I'm going to consider my hardware purchase cycle, because everybody's going to be spooked back out of this market again. Some people will learn from their mistakes from the last cycle. And what they'll have learned is we need to be concentrating on being part of the business model of this new industry, not on the speculation or the crypto side. Be on the blockchain side. So look at the hardware. So this is Theta. Theta is doing something where you can create nodes. Like mainnets, Guardian nodes. You can use your machines to be able to mine. It's expensive, these things, some of these things. So like I'm looking at these things as initially first shots across the bow to see, well, what is it? And I might have missed the boat on these, right? But I know they say that you can get some type of revenue from just watching shows or whatever, right? So it's really looking at these as games unto themselves, as a gamification that's happening. And what we're going to be doing at Toxic Hustle is I want to map and blueprint all these out. Again, data, right? So that's part of the reason why I've been away. I'm programming. I'm actually trying to get the infrastructure for all of this so I can look at these assets as they pop up and then look at how the business can leverage them. So this is using crypto as a business resource, or using regular business, the analog we still have, which is now digital storage, data storage, and being able to utilize it to be able to map out paths through a new technology and a new industry. So looking at which one of these tokens are going to win in video, right? Who wants to use your hardware to be able to run on its networks, or to be a part of its network? Now, I think that we're going to have to look at being part of, basically be server administrators. You're spinning up Amazon web servers. You're spinning up Google servers. You're spinning up Heroku servers. You're spinning up servers, and you're building these machines in the cloud. Those are your data centers, i.e. your subscriptions, i.e. your rent. And you're renting space to be able to spin up code for these networks that are supposed to pay you for utilizing, for being a part of their network and sending their traffic through these networks. Because so that's what we're doing. We're becoming the wires to hook up tunnels into these networks to be part of the profitability of the usability of the system. As applications are being built, the back end has to be built out. These machines have to be spun up, right? That's what we're looking at. Who's going to be, what code sits on where? How do I get a piece of the how much does it cost to run a node? And if you're decentralized, I should be able to spin up a machine on my own for free. I should just be able to spin up. I shouldn't need to be staking a whole bunch of money. I should be able to stake with a little bit of money, right? That is a real free and decentralized economy. That I have a machine, I put a machine up, and for my little bit of rent, I should be able to make for traffic going in and out and applications paying me for being part of the network. I get paid for being part of the network, for their applications to run, right? There you go. That's what we got to look at. Also, I've been trying now. Again, for my database, I want to have links to where I call my shots in the Discord, because I want to track this. Even when I'm wrong, I'm going to track these. If I miss my strikes, I'm going to track them. But I say that these are potentials, because these are not based on me. These are based on seasonal patterns within the code, right? Within the flow of the digital tides of Bitcoin. So as I called the dip here, and I called the dip here, and I said that this was going to pump, we're going to potentially see a droppage come down here. Now, where I called this was in a video. I didn't call this as a screenshot, so I don't have the screenshot for that. But I will, when I go back into the video, to find the screenshot of where I actually said that this dip was coming, right? But it's on video before this date, which is whenever it was. But this dip called, this strike to the top side was called, and I was saying, hey, be careful, we are in a weakening pattern, but we will shoot back up after September run to this crazy breakthrough. We're going to get through this line zone. Like I said, this one would potentially get us back up to this line, potentially dealing with, can we get through here? And this one should break us through the 60,000, right? This is the 58, 60,000 zone. 59 is up here at this top blue line. So we're at that 60,000 mark. So to break through this 60,000, this might be the one that brings us up. And then we have another spike that happens back here, but we were just focusing on the near term, right? And then, of course, there's some news that I put in the Discord that's talking about crypto winter, and the fact that my calling for crypto winter is the one that I saw from the last halvening cycle 3 years ago. So back in 2017, 2018, right? So it begins around the second week of December is when I think it'll officially be like crypto winter. And then it falls and falls until January, then it falls again, and we break through, and we've talked about this, right? And then it's not till the next halvening cycle, which will be 2024, that we'll be able to see the next pump. So what happens is during crypto winter, which is the timeline that I always show y'all. Let me actually pull that up for you real fast. Crypto winter is this timeline for when the last spike was in 2017, right? And I tell you, it crashes in December. And then you've got this long stretch of time that's boring, right? And it even goes further down, you know, the in that November. So you're dealing with December of 2017, 2018, 2018, April, June, right? We're at September, so 2018, and at that year we've got that November dip again, and it crashes the market further down. December dip, and a little bit of just so basically the same thing, right? Then we go into 2019, and then there's a little bit of an upsurge, right? We get back up to these levels. We'll start testing these again until the halvening cycle, until the final breakout that happens again. Right? This is what happened in the past, and this is what we should potentially see because it happened in the cycle prior to that. So if you see two cycles, the same pattern, two big long cycles, like not just these little like year to year things, but these long cycles, right? So I see this long cycle, I already know what's going to happen. That's crypto winter. And now you're seeing people talk about it like Coinbase. We're getting everything ready. They're letting their constituency know, hey, there's a thing called crypto winter. We're saying it's about the Fed and this and that. We just need a long stretch of money, guys, because it gets real boring out on these streets. We're going to be looking for investments that we can maybe make some gains with our robots. There'll be some trading, some automated trading going on. A lot of automated trading is going to be going on. People are going to be making small percentages. 4% will be about the standard. You've seen with our robots, we're doing pretty well, and I'll actually show you the robots in a bit, right? And then, of course, so we know crypto winter's coming, and then there's millionaires. This legendary investor, Bill Miller, has been buying Bitcoin since it was $200. Yeah. These people get it if they get tech. If you get that this is systems, you're buying into technicians. You're buying into technicians who are going to keep computers online. You're buying into technicians who are keeping computers online 24/7 on their own accord. You don't have to ask them to, and that if somebody decides that they can no longer do business, their systems will go down. But guess what? Somebody will put a new system up. You just saw that happen. If you've been watching this channel, you just saw that happen. Go back to the videos. I walked you through the crash of the Chinese FUD. I walked you through, hey, this is going to get crazy. Don't worry. The market's about to, I showed you it was about to run up. I'm telling you, it's about to go crazy in November. You're going to think that nothing will ever fail. Crypto is the new thing. It is never going to go back down. Trad, you're stupid. It ain't going to happen. And then I'm like, yo, y'all, I'm out. USDC, chilling, waiting for the market to get to comfortable levels again so we can start looking at hardware and the investment in our businesses into this blockchain space. Esco put out some links for a trading site. Comics are the next space. I'm going to have to do a video on this. So we're going to have to look at the comic space because I want to, look, we've got to understand NFTs are going to change people's lives. Like, imagine MG with an NFT, right? If MG was a graphic designer, would you find value in buying his art? Hint, hint, MG, hint, hint. If MG wrote a little, I've heard him say something about he was back in the day, he was a developer. So I'm like, I don't understand if you've developed, how you can't even see this one. Because what if you wrote a little piece of code with your graphics and had your audio, made it into an NFT and put it on into OpenSea and sold it? What if later it was upgradable and you could link it to virtual worlds and that avatar could actually physically be movable and posable and playable as an asset? It's coming. What if your comic, if you're a comic writer, I used to draw comics in school. You're now telling me I can come up with my comic series or a manga, make it an NFT, and only release X amount of limited editions of the manga that have specialty whatever the hell. You get printed material. And I've been saying that, right? I've been telling y'all, what if I could create an NFT and print a t-shirt? I told you, it's coming. It's only a few things to do in automation. I can do it my damn self. It is a thing now. The news, I've seen it in the news. I actually have to get it into my timeline. So my bot can actually, so my AI can start tracking it. Excuse me. Now, I bring up about collectibles, right? I bring up collectibles because I'm watching physical collectibles turn to digital collectibles. That's this Funko Pop. Now, for those of y'all that don't know what Funko Pop is, I will explain to you what this is. Funko Pop is a toy that is a collectible. So this is Tupac Shakur as a Funko Pop collectible. If you're into anime, this is Hunter x Hunter. This is huge as far as the sales. Look at this, $219 for this vinyl figure, right? Funko Pop, vinyl figures. Vinyl figure. Vinyl figure. Now, what if there was a company that potentially wanted to come at them, right? What if there was a company that wanted to come at them and get into their business market? There actually already is a company that's trying to come at them and get into their business market. And nobody's really talking about them, and I'm then silently accumulating. Not a cryptocurrency, because there is no cryptocurrency, but this Blanco block party thing. Vinyl toys could be made out of these. Collectibles could be made out of these, right? In the future, potentially. Or not. They could stay video game assets. But there is already a marketplace, right? And the marketplace, you'll see that in this game, people are selling things for, where is it? Go top down. There we go. Okay, so this one is 6 million. That's crazy. This is 15,000. This one is 10,000. So you can see that 1,000 for this one, 415, 300 for the dino. I got one of those. Jetpack Burberry is 119 now. Trying to see where 170. There was a specific. All right, so let me find an actual Blanco only, right? Let's get rid of that. And let's just pull up just the Blancos. So right now, there was one that was you got in game, right? And you basically, it was free. Where is he? Is he dropped already? Oh, there it is. Boom. This one. So this one you actually earned in game. You couldn't buy this. Only 389 were minted, and you can see it's going for about 900 bucks. Now, the jetpack for this guy is now on the market. I ended up playing the game and getting the jetpack for free. So I didn't pay for it. Got it for free. It's currently 34 bucks. So play to earn is an idea right now, but it's a feasible idea. People want this jetpack. There's going to be collectors. There's going to be people that just want to play the game. There's going to be assets that are going to be hard to get, and you're only going to get it if you play the game. There's people that are going to want to play, and there's people who are just going to want to pay and hope that the asset appreciates in value, or other people want it because it's limited edition. So why I bring up this is, again, this company is creating this item, these Blancos, but they could easily be vinyl toys. So on the other side of this game, there's a market that these toys that could be manufactured in the future, these designs that they can get out of their own community that could be worth something because it came out of the community, maybe voted upon. Now these items could be on a market selling as a vinyl toy. You're looking at potentially what could be a new toy industry. I'm not saying that this is what this is. I just like the idea of it. I'm like, wow, that makes sense. If we can 3D print or get to a point where we can create these toys that are collectibles, and you can make your own printed collectibles, that takes these digital assets that you play in world to a physical location. And people are going to want their physical representation or their physical avatar. Right? So that's just an idea. I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen, but I look at what could be possibilities. Now, why I say this is that this company that is the physical side of the business that has physical products that are, if you go to eBay, Jesus, right? If you go to what's for sale, right? Let's go to shopping. Let's go to shopping. And if we just do eBay alone, right? Let's just go to eBay. I just want you to see this. All right, so you got some that are selling for 20, some selling for 12, right? But let's sort these by price, high to low. So let's just see. So, boom, this person's selling a Darth Maul holographic version for 11 grand. Tupac Shakur, 650. Mandalorian, 500. 499. So again, 170 for a Dobby. You see does something you see a light represent, see something similar? Accessories. This doesn't have accessories. These are just the items themselves. They have taken it one more step with the accessories. Right? So you're looking at collectibles. Now, in a world that is struggling through this analog shift to digital, is this a feasible replacement of what we can't afford? I don't know, because shoot, the prices for some of these are still high as hell. But of course, I'm looking at it one direction. You could always go the other direction with this and see if there's any cheaper ones you want. But of course, you could always go to the Blancos game itself. right? And then you actually buy, they actually sell some of these things. Like this is being sold for like $9.99, right? So you can buy a collectible and have it in box, right? So that's just an idea. It's just an idea. So like these businesses, these new gaming companies, these new ideas of digital / analog financial structures, we're transitioning. So that's why I brought it up, because Funko Pop is now going into the digital space, and you can end up seeing that could they come on the other side, and could this be the reverse where we might want to go onto that side of their business, looking if they're getting to the gaming side. Who are they partnering with? What infrastructure are they doing for that? So I'm gonna keep an eye on them, because hey, competition's good. 1 and 2, who's gonna be the number one in the digital space with that? Matic, I told y'all, DAOs are the new corporation. Decentralized Autonomous Organizations are DAOs. Those are corporations that are built on governments, contracts, digital contracts, code. Governments of code are DAOs. Matic, code, is becoming a DAO, a way to store data on the blockchain. I told you, this is a database. I can make applications with Matic. Right now, fractions of pennies for transaction. So if I wanted to, I could build it there, but no, I'm going to first get a better grasp of what I want to do with data and how I want to use data structures. And then I will look at this for my 2024 business, right? Who's going to be there around 2024 when I'm ready to shift over to the blockchain, to take my database that I build out here and start getting ready to globalize it and put the infrastructure in place, right? So Matic is becoming a DAO, so there's a corporation. I'm going to be looking at what tokens come out, because I want governments in that. Yes, it's going to get interesting. Oh yeah, Mr. Wonderful, Shark Tank dude, he's in DeFi heavy, decentralized finance heavy. And he's already said what everybody already knows about everything with this technology, and that is blockchain technology, decentralized code, as blockchain technology, is going to make people be left without jobs. If I can write code that can do your job and look at market trends and get me microtransactions, I don't need you. It's about gaining interest. And if I can make money with my money, then that's all he cares about. That's how he thinks. If I can make money with my money, then it doesn't matter, I'm making money. So he's getting deeper into DeFi. I'm pivoting over to the like I said, I'm looking at the play to earn gaming space, and I'm looking at the creation, like, so comics. Right now, how do we create comics? How do we create anime? How do we create these shows? Because that's media. So I'm looking at a media business that I can have licensing, that I can put on Hulu, that I can put on other networks, right? So it starts with, how do I get a comic out? And then how do I find good comics? So I can now go find comics. If I can put a comic out and I can get it out there, and I can find a good artist, and that artist is in our community, and we can figure out how that artist can get paid the same way I just got paid, and I can just get even a small transaction fee off of that, and then I can find another artist, and I can get another artist. I just want the small transactions. See, I don't have to make gross amounts of money on anybody. I just want my micro percentage. It might be 5%. And that's it. And I'm out. The system does what it does, but from the system earning its 5%, I want to take that, and I should be able to make my own money from the earnings that are coming in. I've showed you how I'm going to do it. I showed you sentiment analysis training. Link in the description. I showed you how the bots trade. Link in the description. And I'll show you the bot. Let's get into that real proper live, right? So we're 44 minutes in. Let's show you the bot. Bot has, they've been upgrading Bitsgap. Link in the description. The Bitsgap bot trades for me, and it's been trading on some of these for 20 days, some of these for 2 months. right? Now, I did notice something that if I had bought and held, it looks like the change that this went up by 40%. I believe the change, okay, summary value change of your bot's initial funds relative to the current funds, including the bot's profit and loss in selected currency equivalent. So basically, because the bot was run, I don't know. Basically, the bot lost trades, right, through that last thing, but it still has a 19% profit margin. Not sure how that one went, but for the most part, I don't know how their algorithm changed on me. For the most part, what had been consistent was if the bot held long term, the bot did profit. Period. That over the long term, the bot turns decent profits. So I have to figure out what their new profit loss scenario is and all that other good stuff. But for me, the sum of my bot profits has been a 16% increase in revenue. At the end of the day, what do I care about? I care about I can hold my crypto, I can hold my revenue, my assets in a place I can trade without really watching it, and it still earns me something. May not be beautiful, may not be perfect, but it's doing something. My money is earning for me, and I'm not taking ridiculous amounts of risk. And now I can buy into coins, infrastructure that I like, and earn percentages on the company. Not by buying and holding, but just earning my percentages and trading and being liquidity for it. Being on both sides of my trading pair. Right? That's what we talk about. As proof to the idea of the robot, give me 1 second because I have to pull up our classroom bot that we had running for us. I have not looked at it, so this is not scripted. I don't do that. Scripting joints, right? Just not my thing, man. Just not my thing. So, check it out. This is our bot, right? And the bot we put in here we started this during the crash. It actually crashed on us. We had put $1,000 in, and we left it. I hadn't been talking about it because I knew the market was down and we had already lost money, so it didn't really matter. But I left it alone, right? And because I left it, the bot has turned a profit, right? So we put $1,000 in. The bot has been left alone for 2 months. We've made a 39% increase in our investment for holding assets that we like. So one of the things why I'm building an application, one of the things I want to start doing is I'm going to get so surgical with the data that I'm gaining from my robots that my robots are going to start getting this data that you see here, and we're going to start putting this in a database, and we're going to start tracking pumps. And I'm going to have a pump tracker so I can catch rides and waves. And this way, as we get into the market later down the line, we'll have an alert system for the tribe to be able to say, hey, these coins are pumping, and maybe those are investments, because again, we don't know why things are pumping at times. And if they're pumping long term and we can tell when the pump happened and then the pump just seems to be cyclically happening, we can look at the coins, see what they're going to do. And in there, you may find some jewels, especially if you're dealing with exchanges and I want to get multiple exchanges and be able to track pumps across multiple exchanges. This is going to give us that's why I said data is the new oil if you know how to deal with data. If you find investable assets for it, like what can I do with it that's going to make money? Can I make money on my own first, right? I can't just say, I'm going to sell this to you. No. I'm going to use this as a hedge on my business. I'm going to have a competitive advantage Like me knowing this data and my bots being able to trade on this data instantaneously is going to make me extremely competitive financially. But with that, be able to license it at a lower rate because I don't need to raid you for revenue, right? But I can now put up a subscription that you can do that can be cheap, like something like $3.99 or something like $3.99, right? And you get the alerts. But now I can take that revenue that comes in and I can put it towards the business. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the scalability of data and being able to give more into what we're doing and give you something better than hopium. I want you to see that there's practicality in, hey, I'm going to build an app and my app's going to do this and I can charge subscriptions for this and people will pay $3.99 to have better robots running and to catch pumps on what exchanges. Hey, this is pumping alert, right? Hey, you might want to ride this wave. This time we caught this one, this rode for 5 weeks, or this one rode for 4 weeks, right? If we're catching pumps that ride for 3 or 4 weeks and we're able to catch them within 2 or 3 weeks, and it's like we can catch the ones that pump for, and can even put some data analysis to find out if this thing could actually be pumping for a longer term. And maybe even give some estimates for ourselves as to how long the pump's going to ride for. Because it might be a reasonable pump. It might be data behind the pump. Like they are doing a launch. This launch, they're on this exchange and we never noticed them before because they were on a sub exchange before they got to Kucoin. Right? So it's not just losing your robots to be able to just make money. Now it's also using the data that you're getting to be a part of this network to being able to utilize that data for your own businesses. All right? Which is what we're going to do. We're going to leverage some of this data to be able to have points that we trade on. Like me, I'm looking at this Axis Infinity joint, and I see AXS here, and I may not want to be in the coin itself, and I may not want to play the game itself, but I should not care if I'm able to make on the trade. And it's up 8%. I might want to be on that trade, dude. I might need to get some more revenue back into the market for a trading bot. And that's it. That's why I say when I do these things, I'm like, oh, I'm going to set up something to trade long term on. So, again, that's what we're doing, right? So let's get into we're about an hour in, right? We're about almost an hour in. Let's go ahead and get to the news. Let's get to it, right? Let's check in here, right? And get into here. All right, as we see, hash rate machines, Bitcoin mining machines are back online and still going online since the last time we talked. We have a little bit of a snitzel of energy, but that could be anything, a storm knocking off some stuff or more China FUD, who knows. But it doesn't matter because consistently we're seeing things stair step their way up, like surges in blocks of energy jumping up, like systems are coming online staggeredly, like it were here, but now in big leaps and bounds. So that lets me feel like machines were turned off. Machines are coming back on. So when we get back up to here, that's going to be when things are at an all-time crazy again. So we'll be looking for when the hash rate hits here and see what's going on and see if anybody's going to want to snitzel the energy, the hash consumption. We'll see. Energy consumption going up on Bitcoin, so more and more machines are going online. We're now in the greed index side of the thing, not the fear. We're in the greed side of things. It's been greedy for the last week. It's been greedy. Last month we were at like a 10 as an extreme. So that tells you where we are. And what do we say? Be fearful when people are greedy. Be greedy when people are fearful. Right now you're still in the yellows. It's not in a full greed zone. So it's still safe. I don't do any major investments after a certain portions of the cycle. You see in crypto, the market cap our market cap is still going up, means more and more cash flow is going into the market itself. That's going to be what happens. You know, people are going to start FOMOing in. Fear of missing out means they're going to FOMO in. And fear of missing out means you're buying high. And then they're going to be like, oh, it's a scam, and they're going to sell low when they should have been buying low and selling high. Now, I have some Bitcoin futures on the radar. Let's see. We got a August 30th. So we got something on the 30th getting ready to expire. We'll look and see right now. August 30th, right? August 30th expiration is right here. So we have a dip right after that. So I don't know what that's about. If that's people having to buy, I don't know. We'll see. We're going to see what happens in this zone. But I do have a signal that seasonally is a dip, right? That is just part of the pattern. That there's a pattern that right around this time zone in this zone is a dip. Just like I said, there was a dip in this zone, and there's a dip in this zone. There's a strong, there's a pump in this zone. I've got a dip in this zone. I don't know what's going to cause the dip, what news is going to cause the dip. I don't know. Something's going to happen. They're going to use it as FOMO or as a FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt strategy to be able to pump the market down, to fulfill whatever the hell this is, because it happens. So I don't know exactly where the dips come from. I think the pumps are from shorts that are getting squeezed out. Right? So I don't know what this is, but we'll see. I think that they're trying to I think this is like a traditional, I'm trying to really, really short the market, and these are some major expiration time, and then it doesn't happen, and then this thing just snaps the hell out of it because they can't FOMO it down enough, because it's really short when it happens. Like, this was a long pattern, right, of a dip. So we're talking about weeks of this pattern forming. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. That's a month and a week, right? So you can see that this is a very short, we pumped, we're up here. We have a short dip to a pump. So this, whatever this is I think it's the last ditch effort to squeeze it down before it slingshots up and then goes into redunculand, right? This is where the next seasonal dip is. That's why I said this goes here, and then there's this extreme craziness that happens right here. Extreme ridiculousness is going to happen somewhere in this zone. Like I said, there's this, like you said, back-to-backs. We're going to have this, I don't have to look in this time zone and also see if there's any dips that may happen into this window. I don't think there was any significant ones, but it was just something that was patterning out. I have not been really in Glassnode since it's been going. I have not been in Glassnode looking at the whale wallets. Reason why is because they seemingly didn't have any pull. Seemingly. They just haven't had any pull, right? So if we go, this is August 19th, so that would have been yesterday, right? Yep. So now we're caught up. You can see it's flat. They've been buying in and it's flat. So there's nothing crazy going on. But they're not going to get back up into these zones. This number will when they do these games that they're playing, they can only play it so long before they play themselves out. They make big money, but they can't play this big wallet the way they were playing it. So we'll start seeing these things, drip and dip. But we're not going to see, they're not going to have those high numbers to play with because the asset is shrinking. And as other people are buying and it's diversifying into other wallets that are holding long term, they don't have these big numbered wallets to play with. So now you're going to be looking really at these 1K wallets. And those are shrinking, right? These 100K wallets are rising. So these 1K wallets are spreading out into diversifying into other sprinkles. So they're trying to make it distribute the assets, right? So it looks like we're doing a distribution play. Shrinking. The one wallet is increasing. These should be increasing, skyrocketing. And these should be increasing. And they are. So that's why I haven't really been watching that. I've been kind of, worried about the patterns that we know about. I don't think there's any major news on the horizon that's going to do any major stuff. As we look at the market, let me hit a refresh on it. Market is just blah. It's a boring day, but we've had 24 hours. We've had 7 days of green. So, like, the market's the way the market is. Like, I'm not the type of person that's gonna sit there and again, I don't hopium in. As I tell y'all, when I invested, I was telling y'all about investing here. I said, once we get out of this zone of this window, I'm not really chasing the dragon. This is the dragon. You're chasing it. I'm not chasing that. I knew to buy all of my stuff right here. So I did all my homework, did all my research, did everything. I was with y'all. We were struggling together. Then when we went here, did all my struggle together. When this dip happened is when actually it's here. Sorry. It wasn't back here. It was back, it's here. So when this happened, this is when we were all digging together, talking about this, saying, hey, don't worry about it. This thing is going to go back up. It's going to go back up. Okay, we had our dip. It went back up. We're going to have a little dip. It's going to go back up. So I'm not chasing it. Why? I've been through this. It's happened back here. Look at September. Let's go back because I'm going to go. And we just have to, this is a reminder. The reason where I get my information. Trash, where you get your information from? I get it from the past, from the data. Here is June. Here's those weeks. I told you it was going to pump. Then you'll see a dip, right? Then a pump. August, pump, right? September, dip. And then at that week of September, around the 25th of September, whoosh. Then November, dip to a whoosh. So that's why you see the chart the way I have it. I have the chart in which I've marked out those major moves when I saw major moves, and I went back in time even further. And that's the major moves. Those are the major moves from the cycle before and the cycle before. Did I see these things happen in 2013, 2015, sort of? Look at the years, look over the years and see if there's, because it's not just the full, the happening cycle. I look every year because, there's multiple years in between the happening cycle, right? If you look here, here's the happening cycle. Here's the happening cycle. After a happening cycle, huge spike. After a happening cycle, we haven't even done our spike yet. Here's you have 2 more green lines to go. Right? Till this dip. And then that is the end. Then we go into crypto winter because it crashes down and then it gets boring. And that is where the robots play sideways. Sideways bot, S bot, that is our sideways bot. That is the robots. So through this long period, this is where the robots, the assets we make, are going to sit there earning interest over long term, playing the market while we look at what assets we want to continually buy into, what hardware we want to buy into, what coins that are going to be fueling the data we want to deliver to the applications we work with. Right? As we start to decentralize our data, it's going to have to go on the blockchain. We're going to have to pay for that. See, that's the goal of this. So let's start the news. As I've been saying, the collectible markets, comics, the creatives, you creative folks out there are going to start networking together. You're going to start creating projects together. One of the things that we are working at Toxic Hustle is a project management system to be able to manage the projects I do with other people that I'm working with, like in Fiverr and all these other places, to organize all these external projects so that I can have a central repository where I can get work done for my clients, right? So if I'm getting hired and I'm getting ready to get back into the venture capital firms, start working with them again, getting ready for crypto winter. Can't rely on just crypto. You have to have businesses that run through crypto, right? But you have to have a business. So I'm looking at what happens when we start creating comics, right? That's going to be an asset for the company. And I know we're going to find some dope comics. We're going to find some comics that need to come out, and then how do we promote them? How do we market them? So how do we get the art? So DeviantArt is now working with OpenSea, partnering to combat NFT theft, their artwork becoming NFTs and the license holders not getting the rights. Well, now DeviantArt and OpenSea. So now graphic designers, here's your path to cash. You can now begin to gain a name for yourself on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, putting your art, doing your art, and screen capturing the art you're doing, right? And then what you do is you take that and you get into the DeviantArt community. You post links to your DeviantArt page. And then your DeviantArt page, you have links pointing to your OpenSea account that has your digital assets. And you can also point to your stores, like your paid print-on-demand store. Because again, NFTs that could link to print on demand here. I just haven't done, I can do it myself through automation, but now there's actually some companies trying to do it wholeheartedly. Now, if you're in crypto, I'm going to tell you, as somebody who does this to his woman, don't be a crypto bro. It's breaking up relationships. Don't only be about crypto in your relationship. Be about crypto in your relationship if it's dealing with blockchain and the underlying tech as it amounts to you being able to put things on a server, like a website or a business that can get visibility cheaper than being on Amazon Web Services, and you know how to spin up the machine. Or you want to learn how to spin up the machine so you can get a job in the industry when they're looking for people who know how to do and create cloud-based data mining for blockchain companies, right? How to set up data miner, right? So data mining is going to be huge. I'm already learning how to do it now. But when it comes to your relationships, if your woman's into crypto, great. You have a great relationship. If your woman's not into crypto and you're just like throwing money at, like if you're in hopium and you're like, oh, Elon Musk cost me so much money because I put 20,000 and I just lost 20 grand. Why are you doing that? Get a business running and use the assets and the revenue profits into buying crypto. Don't just buy crypto and hope. Get a business, earn your crypto. I said it in 2017. I'm saying it now in 2021. Earn your crypto. Get a business running. Digital business. There's many things coming now. Be creative. Creatives. Cardano D5's Peter Brandt's 90%. Everybody said it was gonna crash. Everybody's gonna say everything's gonna crash. Look, Bitcoin controls the waters. So long as you, this is why I only pull this chart up. So long as this number one right here, and it has this much market cap, way more than this one number two right here. So long as this right here controls the waters and I'm trading back and forth on trading pairs. Where's my robots? I closed my robots out. So as long as my trading pairs for my robots, which I've already shown you, trade on the cryptocurrency. So long as I'm earning the BTC on that, I don't really. Hold on. Nothing that these people talk about. So long as I know when the waters are gonna pump and close, I know when this is gonna go up. I already told. Look, Cardano is this. I'm just saying. Okay, so and this is this maybe in a couple years, maybe. So you just look at these networks. These networks are going to be programmable. The top four, all of these have a programming language. Every single one of them. Even this one has a this one's getting one. This is a programming language. Because it made this. Solana, you program on top of it. 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 This is the programming language for Bitcoin. Like I said, Bitcoin has some this is it. VeChain, program on top. Can program on top. Well, if you wanted to. Can program on top. Can program on top. Well, this is storage. So storage and data, but can be used for programming languages, like for CSS files and everything else, right? Program on top, program on top, program on top, program on top. This is an application that's programmed on Matic. So as you can see, all of these are programming on top. These are data, program on top. So your top coins are programmable data structures. They're networks. They're the future of these small micro machines, y'all. What do you think is going to run what do you think is going to run these? Do you think your internet's running this? What can I, you understand, like right now, we would take this device to connect to the internet to use it as a consumer machine, right? In the future, I will hook this as like this. It has a hard drive and all the, like literally, right? Hook this up, put a hard drive, put everything in there. I'm going to put the application on this. And it will run Linux, Android. Currently have Android on that. I can run Windows on this in the future. So if I want to automate Windows machines for clients, I'm going to be using these. Or similar to these. I want some that are 16 gigabytes of RAM. I want business grade power machines. 16 gigs of RAM will give me a lot of leeway. Or I can do it with 8. It's nice. But I really want 16 gigs of RAM on the board, so that I can put these bigger grade applications together and run some intensive programs. But I can get away with 8 for now. That's what I'm learning to do. How do I get away with 8? So these people who are telling you that the Cardano is not going to do nothing, or this code or that code is not going to do nothing, it doesn't really matter. As applications get put on there, that's all that matters. How many apps? This is a new war, right? Back in the day, it was how many websites were cached on the search engine in the search engine wars, right? How many people per day were searching on their thing? We have these many active searches per day, these many active searches per month. And that's how they were selling their business. Then Google had to change the metrics. How many use this? How many use that? YouTube has metrics. How many views? How many interactions, right? How many hours people are watching videos? So you have another thing. Another war. Just like 5G, 4G, 3G war, right? Just like the modem war of how fast the modems were until we just went broadband, and it didn't matter no more. Except it's still a speed war. How much broadband do you have? How many upload speed, download speed, right? We still have speed wars. Speed war, the speed war. So when you hear a speed war happen, then you just got to say, well, there's your your business. Somebody's going to beat somebody in the speed war. Who's going to win? How many applications are going to get on there? How many people are using or leveraging it for their businesses? What kind of businesses are getting there? What kind of industries are they? Hey, can I partner with some of these industries? Because some of them are my clients. Right? So there you go. And in that, that's where your businesses are going to strive from. Then you've got Binance is now, I told y'all, their problem was they didn't know who they want to do KYC now because they can do all of this. It isn't going to matter. They don't want this exchange. This is a Chinese exchange, and they're going to go with the US based exchange. Coinbase won. So Binance is trying to squeeze through, and the US version of Binance is trying to do all this regulatory scrutiny. I don't even use it. I can't use it. So I have it here, but it's cut on an all-time high. Is it worth it? Whatever. Coinbase stockpiled billions prepared to crypto winter. The phrase I've been coining and telling y'all, crypto winter's coming, crypto winter's coming, crypto winter's coming. Let me store all these damn nuts to get there through the winter. Come on now. Ethereum's rise to number one crypto seems unstoppable. We'll see. Can it get the number one? They're talking about getting this place. The flipping Bitcoin. Whenever Ethereum or somebody else can take more market share away and it not control as much of the market as it currently controls, I can see that we won't be having as much stuff. But as long as Bitcoin controls the tides and it controlled all the markets, it's still gonna have a tug, and it does. It's like the Earth and the Moon, right? It pulls on the tide. Bitcoin pulls the tide. It's the moon. It's pulling. So right now, we'll see if it can get to number one. There will not be a flipping this year. It may be the next cycle, but we'll see. We thought it might be this cycle, but it didn't get there. Second largest U.S. mortgage lender, so land grab, is asking for your crypto. So now land companies want the processing. See, they're going to interlink, y'all. I'm getting prepared for it. That's why I'm looking at data and storing data and keeping my data cheap. And see, I'm looking at robots running, applications running, machinery running, things. The Internet of Things, y'all. Y'all don't know what a thing is? It's a thing is anything you want it to be. My things can be little Raspberry Pis running Android that are automating certain grabs and screen grabs or usages for certain things, or it could be automation of playlists for music and the promotion of music. So I can do so much with automation that gives me new business structures. And so can you. It's just study time, right? So I told you my investment into crypto is done. As far as what are you buying? I'm not buying nothing really. I did right here. All this time I did all my investing. Like I told y'all, bought the dip. I don't go chasing the dragon. I'm not gonna get profitable. I mean, I'm cutting my profits if I do that. If I'm buying here, I'm cutting my profits because I already know if this follows the same halving cycle, it's gonna come back down to these levels again. I'm just gonna wait. It'll come back down to here. I mean, even if I bought here and then I sell up here and then I buy back down here, I'm okay with that. I don't think I'll ever get back down here, but I'm okay with where I'm getting back down here and buying back here, but not right now. I'll buy back here from well in advance of when we hit up here. See, I will sell here at the 100,000 mark. When I start selling here, I will have all the profit from down here, y'all. So let me put a line. Let me show you the strike zone, right? This is going to be the red zone, right? I want to crazy bright red. And I'm going to put it right out here. And we're going to, oops, Control Z. I don't need another one, just that one, thank you. And now let's go here, and I'm going to move this right here to the 100,000 zone. Right, let's put this physically, right, at 100,000, straight up. I don't even need a dot, right? We should just be able to go straight to it. Boom. So boom, right? So this, if you see where we, let me see if I can keep this in screen and keep where we purchased that. All right, there we go. That's as close as I'm going to be able to do it. So here's the strike zone, right? And I said this is where I was buying the dip. Once we were in this accumulation phase, this is where I'm buying. Now, check what I'm doing. This is where I bought. This is where we are. This is where we're going. I'm got here. I'm out here. I got all this profit margin. I can wait till it comes back down here to here. I can wait till it comes back down and get back here because it's going to be out of contention when it's here. I need it to come back down here and do the same thing it did. Show me this is where you want to be. Show me we need consistency. And again, that's what's going to happen once we do this. We spike. We're going to break up here. And we didn't even see that spike again. We didn't hit that number again for where we were till past the halving cycle all the way over here. November. So it took damn near December of 2017 to November of December 2020. From December 2017 to 2020. 3 years. From its high to 3 years later till it came back. So that's what's going to play out again. So if I know this is the goal in the game, if I know this is what's happening, and that's why I said to outlast this crypto winter. If I knew that this crypto winter is here and it has this long ass play, I'm not playing. I'm gonna get my stuff ready, right? I'm not investing any more money. I'm gonna let that do what it does. Cash out at the top, like I told y'all. We're all gonna make your move in November. Start making your move when you see it hit 100,000. Start making your exit strategies to USDC. Don't get caught up and get mad later. Oh, it's a scam. No, you don't buy high. You're an investor. You sell high, you buy low. So if you're in profit or you're thinking that it's going to go to the 100,000 mark and then sell at 100,000, be able to cash out if you're still buying. If that's what you're doing. If you're buying up here, I wouldn't have done that. I bought down here. Why would I buy up here? If I know I only have this window and like I said, we only have it's nice. I mean, you're still gonna get profit. I just would rather have had a larger run. And again, I'm using the sentiment to show me when things were gonna potentially be down and where we're gonna be and where those lines are and where we're gonna be, where we're gonna end up being, and when am I gonna be ready to get out? Right here. Because when I need to be out before the 13th, that's damn sure, because that's the crash. That's it. So crypto winter is after that, y'all. So that is what you're going to start seeing. You're going to start hearing the term crypto winter because the institutions are letting themselves know, hey guys, start getting ready. And we're going to be buying these companies cheap, so get ready. And that's going to be around April timelines when I'm going to get back in, hardware as well as buying. Treasury Department wants to capture DeFi. You cannot capture lightning in a bottle, sir, because DeFi is a decentralized code. Code on a server like a Raspberry Pi outside of your control, unless you can control the network, which is what they're trying to work on. See, if these companies want to get investments, they're going to start writing in the code to run the network. And if these miners want to so they're trying to lock out mining. If they can control the miners for the code, then they can start controlling the network. That's what they're trying to get in now. If it works, it works. But I keep telling y'all, there's going to be a 14-year-old seeing that jugs and be like, well, I can't do nothing. These old heads is locking me out. I'm building my own network type beats. You forget how kids think? You forgot you were a kid? What did you do when you were a child? If somebody told you can't do something, did you not maybe figure a way to go do it yourself? Hey, don't eat that candy. I'm still find a way to eat something sweet. I'll make my own sweet. That's what I did. I left the candy alone, and on the weekends, I used flour and sugar, and I made cookies. Because I was a fat boy. That was just my thing. Right? So you can't tell kids, oh, we're going to lock this up. Okay, well, you didn't lock up torrents. Torrents are still out there. Torrents are still used. That's code. Code goes on machines. And the Internet of Things, when things can now run the internet. Oh, y'all are fudged. I have to stretch that one out. Y'all are fudged. For real. For real. Y'all are hurt. Because think about it. It means micro machines can run the internet soon. One for one. Oh, I'll go on a private server, just spin up on the network, blah, 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 blah. The network will spin up other machines, and based on your bandwidth, will give you a machine that can give you what you need. Like, it's gonna come, y'all. It's gonna be here. I'm just letting it play out. And meantime, between time, I'm learning the data structure of JSON. JSON is the data structure. I'm learning how to utilize JSON, graph databases, GraphQL, all of these things I'm throwing at you. Go watch YouTube videos. Start learning, y'all. Learn like I'm learning. I don't have time to teach y'all nothing. I'm learning my damn self. Bank of America sees a long road ahead for Coinbase to become the Amazon of crypto assets. Yes, because they're going to be buying companies. These companies are going to be doing things on the network. If they don't do nothing, nobody's going to just invest in your coin because it's a coin. That's so 2017, y'all. Oh, it's a coin. Yay. What does your coin do? It has a puppy on it. Yay. I'm happy for you. You can invest in those things, but what do they do long term? Can your children retire on that? Can you build an application that your children can actually run their own applications on? Can you build something that your kids can build their own websites and do their own application? Like, y'all, we're going to get into a robotic age in a minute. Your kids aren't just going to be writing applications. They're going to be writing full functioning autonomous systems. I don't want to do this. Let me just write something that does it for me. I don't want to play this game. I'm going to write a scraping robot that'll go out here and play this game for me and mine this stuff for me. I'm going to put it on a tablet and just have it run this tablet and just do that all the time. Do this move, do that. And I'm seeing it now. There's a new idea of mining, and it's not just mining Bitcoin. It's what else can we do with hardware and games and audio and all of it. So yes, TikTok partners with crypto-powered music Audius. I've been telling y'all about this platform. It's in the Discord. Link in the description. Musical Geniuses. I said Audius. Called it early. These are the things that you can do when you understand what is coming. The infrastructure, man. Bitcoin, the most brilliant piece of software. Colombian president's advisor. Bitcoin, most brilliant piece of software. Y'all, code on a machine. Code on a machine. Brilliant. Drug dealer charged with laundering 2,933 BTC on the dark net because it ain't that dark. You're on a transparent ledger, y'all. Your wallet follows you. So where all the money goes in through those wallets, you can write tracer codes to trace where the money goes. It's transparent. Where the crypto moves through what wallets it touched, all of that is all visible. It's not hidden. This is all data that's visible data. So everybody that did all the dirt, or what was done in the dark shall come to light. Yeah, that's type beats. Biblical type beats. Treasury preps guidance on infrastructure bills, crypto tax. This is old, right? Yeah, so this is all old news. Let's look at some. Hey. Let's look at some business. 10-year job yields flat after jobless claims. Thousands of Google workers agree to pay. Oh, yeah. This is the stuff. Again, I want to remind you about my news is pretty much saying the same thing, is that our growth is stagnating, and then the revenue that people are going to make when they go home is going to be cut in half. Basically, the freelance gig economy, you're not going to make as much as you made before. That's just the way it is. And if you weren't making that before because you're just getting into this technical world, welcome to the gig economy. You're going to make even less because you don't have the skill set, nor do you have the reviews necessary to get the cash flow from like a Fiverr.com or freelancer.com. You got to pay some whop to get some eyeballs to your services. And you're competing internationally now. So how much you think you're worth ain't what people think the worth is internationally. That's why I don't do web design online. Because there's people that'll do a website for you for $10. Literally $10. Now, what kind of service you get with that, but I'm just saying. But yeah, the gig economy, you don't make as much, and there's a lot of debt, printed money in the stock market. What I want to do is start looking at what the AI has found, because I've been actually backing off and letting the AI build its own news. It's way too much for me to go through. There's 91 pieces of content in here, so I'm not even going to begin to even try to go through all that, but I will just go through some of the top ones that we have here, right? So we're not anything that has a prediction. Let's see. Prediction. Update. Maybe that will remove some of these, right? Oh, wow. Damn, I wasn't expecting it to do that. My bad, y'all. While it is working on that, let me look at tech. Right, single. Oh, yes. Again, I've been looking at hardware, single board computers, SBCs, these little micro machines, and what their potentiality to do things in the future is going to be. And some of these new ones are getting tighter and tighter as far as like what they're able to do. Like this one is a single board, packs 2 Ethernet ports. So you can become like a router or something else. Again, we're going to be able to build a lot of new types of hardware. Risk, being able to print your own chips or get your own chips designed in the future. Raspberry Pi compute module boards. These are little boards that this is a Raspberry Pi. It's even smaller than these things. Like this small little system is going to be able to be used for so much stuff now. Like here's a pedal board that's going to be used for rock guitars. Like, so you can start building your own hardware in the future, right? How to build a Raspberry Pi alarm that sprays porch pirates. Right? So a lot of crazy stuff that it's going to be able to do. Waiting for new audit. Oh, God. Did it just ruin? It just ruined my whole thing. Update. Sorry, that just destroyed every damn one. I didn't think it was going to do that. I thought it would just filter. So I just lost all my articles. Well, that's going to be easy. This is going to be a short video then, because it just took away all my damn AI articles out of there. Damn, that sucks. All right, so we know not to do that no more. All right, so since we can't really do news, since we just lost all our news, I'm gonna just go ahead and call this for the day, because I don't have any more news I can really give you. There's nothing else that I can give you on that regard. So we're gonna close that out. Business wise, like I said, I am programming. I've been working on the database. I am using Mongo for it. Where is it? Up here. What is MongoDB? I put a YouTube video up in the Musical Genius Discord. You can also just look for the title. MongoDB explained in 10 minutes. SQL, which is what MySQL is, which WordPress uses, or NoSQL, which is JSON, which is what a lot of companies that scale in social media, the social media sites use NoSQL. So does Amazon, so does Facebook. All use a version of a NoSQL type database, JSON driven database. So I'm learning this, still getting my head wrapped around all these things, man. It's kind of crazy to envision a new data structure since I'm so used to MySQL, but you have to transition. What we have to deal with is the fact that hardware. Let me drag this back out. When I say that we're dealing with the death of analog fiat, since we really don't have any news right now, since I lost it. When I say the death of analog fiat, I'm saying that you got to start thinking about what you see on this screen. These machines that are getting ready to run code. And what code can they run for you, right? So a perfect example of this, since like I said, I can't really do news, but I want to give you some value today, is like I said, I've been looking at Theta, right? So let me just open up their thing. So this network, again, another network, and you just got to look at these as networks. We got to think like media people. Like, we're in music, for God's sake, right? So we've got to be the ones to really think like media people. Let me drag this over here. And here we go. That's Theta. Hold on. Theta TV, right? There we go. Theta. So Theta TV.
Blake Bond's got 6'8".
So you've got a television network, right? So here is a streaming system. World Poker Tour. Right? So you've got World Poker Tour, you've got all these shows and everything else. Let me just close that out because I don't want to keep here. I'm trying to not have it play anything, but it doesn't seem to not want to be in my damn. All right, so Doom. T-Drop token. Read T-Drop white paper. I guess there's a new token that's come out. Theta Guardian and Edge nodes, right? So you can earn T-Fuel by staking Theta and being a Guardian node, or you can be an Edge node, right? Basically be download for Windows, and you can run yourself a node and earn for being part of their network. So when you look at companies like this, you're going to start seeing more and more companies coming to the forefront that are doing something similar. Discord, Theta. There was one more. Audius, right? Yeah. Hold on. Audius, the one we just talked about. This. I'm going to be looking deeper and deeper into this now. I have not bought any. So, no, I have not bought. Everybody say, oh, you bought in? No, but I wouldn't mind getting, I would still get in some. Like I said, I don't want to invest into nothing, but I would get some. This would be something I would get some of, just so I can be part of the network, to do something with it, to start putting my music up or earning from my music. So however this works, I would get into this to use it, right? So I would use or get cryptocurrency, not to speculate. So I'm doing no speculation right now, but if I want to invest, to buy something, to get into something now, not for speculation, but because practicality or usability, then I would jump into it. So I'm looking at this and starting to wrap my brains around this one too, so that I can get into this market as well. But again, this is another one that'll have staking and all that other stuff. And these are the things we got to start looking for, right? So also, do I have a DApp radar? I should start putting this on my screen as well. I haven't been. But looking at gaming, right? So if you go into rankings, you can see who is working. Hold on one second. So I am keeping my eye on the gaming market. Consistently going to keep my eye on gaming markets. OpenSea, of course, marketplaces, all these other things. But in here, you're able to switch this over here to games. And now you can see for the last 24 hours what's popped. And this is how I kind of like scope out to see if there's any new interesting games that have popped up. But of course, 24 hours isn't a good spike. So let's do 7 days to see on an average how it's been, what's popped in the last 7 days. Because especially if you see something pop towards the bottom, especially in this top 25 and the top 50, if something spiked like by 1,000%, chain monster. See, like I'm looking for these little pumpers. So on the Flow network, so it's another network protocol. So then you also see what network protocols are running applications. So I'm going to be also looking at data, on being able to get data from this stuff and starting to make insights on this data as well. This is a hustle, y'all. Like, you've got to start looking at the businesses that are getting ready to launch. These are gaming companies. These are new gaming companies that are going to have virtual worlds, that are going to have currencies. That's just the way it has to work, because the current architecture don't work. If these gaming companies want to build servers, they're not going to get venture capital to get servers up and running. These small gaming companies are going to spin up their machines and have people buy into these machines. I'm going to be hunting to find out which one of these companies are doing it, so I can get into these machines before they pop off, or buy into the lands before they pop. Like, this rev racing is basically our Need for Speed. Like, this is Need for Speed sitting right here. That's why I said this play to earn thing, y'all got to see it coming, man. See it coming. So we are at an hour and 43. I'm going to cut it short than usual, because we have no news, and I'll just let my AI reconfigure itself over the next couple days. I'll be back Monday or Tuesday, depending on if I got to do any client work. We'll reconvene, y'all. Y'all keep safe out on these streets, and I'm gonna holler at you. Peace out.